episode of Financial Freeway. My name is David J. Attwood. I am the man rocking the RayBans. And I have to tell you, we're leaving at 6 o'clock today. It's a little bit overcast this morning. They're calling for rain throughout the day, which is nice. So the grass gets a little bit green and grows a little bit, looks a little bit pretty. But it's making it a little dark, as well as, it's getting a little darker in the mornings as we're slipping into fall. So it won't be long till Financial Freeway is going to have to go back to the afternoon episodes. So a couple of really crazy, really great things that happened. My cousin came by from Australia. She stayed with us for the weekend, and that was a real treat. I just got to open this for a little bit. Sorry, the microphone. It was a real treat to have her there and her boyfriend Max. The funny thing about Max, love you Max, really do. Sometimes it was hard to understand him, and sometimes I just had to listen to the whole sentence to get the words that I could understand and kind of piece together what was trying to be asked of me. But great, really, really interesting man. Very, very friendly. And God bless Max. It was great to meet him. And we had the family over for a quick little celebration. Not really celebration, just to meet up with Jen. Because Jen does live in Australia. She doesn't get out here much. So it was a real treat to have everyone over. It was nice. It was a good start to the weekend. My weekend was mostly just puttering around the house, working on the garden, and also spending a lot of time putting the convention together for the Pacific Coast Association of Magicians. We're going to be hosting that November 7th to 10th. Very excited about that, but I'm also very stressed. It's a very stressful thing because I decided to kind of step up to the plate in 2022. I had talked with one of the fellow members of the Victoria Magic Circle, and after a couple of beers, she's like, "You should do it, Dave." No, his words were, let me quote, "We should do it. The club should do it." And I took it on as a project in hopes that I could really bring a lot of awareness to our club here in Victoria internationally, as well as, maybe throw some money into the coffers again. Because not that we don't have money in the club, we're actually doing pretty good financially, but it would still be nice to have more, as it always is. As I always say, the further you're away from that zero line, the better life gets. So I did all this, and the moment I was voted in as the Presidente of the Pacific Coast Association of Magicians, I turned to my friends and I said, "Okay, guys, who wants to help?" And it was crickets. And it's been crickets, actually, for a long time. And it's funny because people will say to me, I had one guy say, "Well, have you asked anyone for help?" I said, repeatedly throughout the year I've been asking for help because it's a lot to take on. And the thing about running something like this, it's volunteer, and I am really not getting paid for this. But that's not a point, but that's not what I meant to say, actually. It is volunteer, not getting paid, is what volunteer is. But what I meant to say is, I have other things that I need to do in order to keep the machine running. And those things are quite demanding of my time. I've got a full-time job. I've got other businesses on the side that I have to run as well. Plus, I've got, it's silly, but life. You've got to see the dentist. You got to get your oil changed. I got a roof that needs repairing. Things like this. Like, it's, life gets in the way. It really, really does. So I was shocked when, I'd ask people, okay, I need someone to help. I need some volunteers. Here's where I need people. And I was hearing nothing. And then, which was really hilarious, a couple months later, I'm struggling to figure out how to do all this stuff and learn how to do all this stuff. And then to get a response from someone saying, "Hey, what's going on with the convention?" I said, "Well, I've been putting out information all the time. Don't know why people aren't getting it." And it kind of gets you a little bit frustrated when people aren't I say from my perspective, it's frustrating because I would like help, because the way I look at it is that this is something for the group, not just for the individual. So it benefits more people. It benefits everyone, but the people that are benefiting from it don't want to take on the responsibility, which I guess comes with the territory running a volunteer organization. But the part that gets me a little bit upset, a little bit, little pinch, is when people are saying, hey, what's going on? Why are you not doing your job and letting us know what's happening? That's where I get a little upset, because I've been letting you know. And I'm sorry if it wasn't being sent by carrier pigeon or, the Tenko drums so you could understand what's happening, or smoke signals. But I did send it through, a fairly modern way of sending information through, websites and newsletters. So I was hoping that would be enough. Getting a little bit upset about it. Sorry, don't mean to be that way. But the thing I find is funny is the people that complain the most are the least successful people. The people who do the least and are the loudest are the least successful, because successful people are too busy to complain. They're too busy with their own things, their own businesses, their own projects to sit and complain about things. They just don't have the time for it. They really don't. And so the people that are the loudest are the people that I say, hey, can I get a hand? And I'm too old, I'm too busy, I got my own things going on. I'm also planning a wedding during all of this too, and it does get a little bit stressful for me. So thinking about that this morning, about how I was putting together a video to help advertise the PCAM this year and get some more registrations, because registrations are starting to trickle in now. Like, they're starting to come in on a fairly consistent more, but we still haven't broken even. We haven't hit that break-even point yet. So, and it's my credit card on all the agreements. So, I'm really hoping that my team can rally and at least register and get their registrations in for it. So, one of the things I realized while I was doing all of this this morning, I've realized this before actually, but this morning it really came into play in my mind as I'm getting upset and I'm getting stressed and I'm starting to, there's certainly, I had some entertainers that were gung-ho about being a part of the convention, and now they've gone radio silent. So don't know what's going on, if they're going to show up or not. So I have to, sort of have a backup plan ready to rock and roll. No one's, and all I'm getting is what's going on, what's the information, how much, what is it, what are you doing, what has been done. And the funniest thing was, I got an email from someone saying, well, why don't you give a detailed list of all the things you need help with? And I responded as politely as I could, this has been done multiple times since last November, of all the different things I need help with. So I'll do it again. Here's the people I need. I really need people in these positions. And to this point, I've been kind of doing things myself. And I had a conversation with someone in February about this, and he said, don't worry, don't get your friends to do this, don't do this for the club or you just lose friends. Just do it yourself, and then give the money to the club. Whatever you get, give to the club. And I thought, okay, that's not absolutely not fair, but okay, I'll do it. I'm just kind of hoping, if it's a club and the club gets the money, I hope that that the club would help. Not the case. However, I feel there's more benefit to it. Like, if I make 20 grand doing this convention and I keep the cash and I tell all my friends to go pound salt, I'm not getting very far ahead. 20 grand is not worth a whole year of putting a project together. But if I give it work and do it myself and everyone's good, and I give the 20 grand to the club, I feel that there's more benefits than just having the cash. That's not what I want to talk about anyways. What I want to talk about was, today I want to talk about, if you're feeling stressed or panicked, those are the people that are able to make more money. You'll become more successful based on how much crap you can handle and keep moving forward. People who stress out and fall apart, and this is really important for my daughters to listen to too, if you stress out and fall apart at the littlest criticism, or your plate gets a little full and you're having a tough time prioritizing everything and managing your time, if you can't manage that stuff, you will not get to the next level. You can easily become a person that is part of the community and contributing and has a job and all that stuff, but you'll never get to the next level if you can't handle problems. And the more problems you can handle, the more stress you can take on, the higher up that chain you will crawl. Like, it is amazing when you think of someone, and I always go back to someone like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. I know they're pretty easy targets to talk about when you talk about abundance and success, but these are guys. I mean, look at Jeff Bezos. When he started Amazon, he was working out of, like, he had a folding banquet table as a desk, and he was doing it out of an office, like a little tiny office above a deli in Seattle. You think about that, and everyone told him he was a fool for walking away from his business, or from his job, which paid really well. And now he's a titan. And then you think about someone like Elon Musk and how much stress he must be under running all these businesses and doing all these like really moving mountains, creating new technologies. These are the people that get to the next level of abundance and success, and it's because they can take on the stress. The average person who cannot take on any stress at all, well, think about it. Just think about it. Imagine a person who falls apart if the cashier, doesn't give them enough change. Or think of the person that falls apart if they can't find a vegan or gluten-free alternative to dining while they're taking their family out, and they just fall apart, they fall to pieces. Stress, the management of stress, the management of what I like to say, stuff. If you can manage stuff, you're going to get far ahead. If you can take on stuff and not let it affect your outlook, or not, and compartmentalize it, not let it affect the next thing you're working on. Like, you go to the restaurant and you get really bad service, and then you go to the grocery store, you get bad service, and then you go and talk to your customer, and your customer has no idea that you went through a tough moment a couple of moments ago. If your customers have no idea that you got crappy service from the server at the restaurant and crappy service from the grocery store, and then you went on and were just a pleasant person, that is your path to success. If you're the person who rolls your eyes and you wouldn't believe what I just went through, and this person was so rude to me, and if you're that person, you're trapping yourself. It is the people that can take on garbage and poop and move forward. Those are the people that will become truly successful. So when stuff happens, when stressful things happen, keep that in mind. Keep remembering that if you are able to get past this moment of stress, anxiety, or whatever, that just means you're building those muscles to become great. And the more you can take on and compartmentalize, and don't dump it on the next person. Don't take that crappy service or crappy attitude you were just dished out and then dish it on someone else and make it their problem as well. If you can take it and just say, you know what? No one else deserves to have that kind of attitude, so I'm just going to compartmentalize it. I'm going to put it over here. I'm not going to put it onto the next person. You know what I'll do? I'll save it for the therapist. That's what I'll do. Or I'll save it for my spouse. Someone who's really close to me and really intimate with me and understands me on a deeper level. That's who I'll save it for. I won't save it for my customers or my coworkers or my boss. I'll just go, hey, it is what it is. No one needs to know. It's my thing. Compartmentalize it. Manage it. That's going to give you a great leg up. And the more you do it, the more you compartmentalize like that, the better you get at it. And the more successful you'll become. Keep that in mind. So if you're getting a lot of stuff dumped on you, just remember that's because, number one, you can handle it. And number two, the better you can handle it, the more successful you're going to be. Thanks so much for watching, folks. If you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up. You know I like that. Oh, and I would also like to thank my brother-in-law, Brad, for telling me he's watching the videos now. Thank you, Brad. Really appreciated that. And make sure you check out financialfreeway23.ca for those reading books. Also, I've got my investing strategy up there. It's my personal strategy. I'm not a financial advisor, but it's worked for me. So just make sure that, as you understand, with any sort of investing, there's always an inherent risk with that. So keep that in mind. Also, folks, as I always say, the most important thing is to spread the good news. Because what we're doing here is we're trying to make sure that everyone in the world understands that they have an inalienable right to live a life of success and abundance. Wherever you are in the world today, people, I just want you to know I'm thinking about you, and I wish you have the very best of days. God bless.